How's it going, Jeremiahans? In today's video, I will be talking about the Yamaha DGX-660 88-key portable digital piano with arranger functions. So the DGX-660 was launched by Yamaha in early 2016, so it is now more than 3 years old. In 2019, is this portable 88-key digital piano still worth buying? If you're new here, welcome. My name is Jeremy C, and in my channel I make reviews, tips, tutorials about digital pianos as well as arranger keyboards. If content like this interests you, make sure you subscribe and smash that notification bell icon. I have been teaching as well as playing on the DGX-660 as well as the previous generation DGX-650 for the past 3 years to 4 years, and therefore I will be telling you about my experience as well as what I like and what I am not really very hot about this piano. We have to understand that it has been 3 years since the DGX-660 was launched, and there has been a couple of competitors coming up. We have Casio coming out this year with the Casio CDP S350, which is also an 88-key fully weighted piano with arranger functions. And we also have the Casio PXS 3000 digital piano, which is very slim, very compact, and also has 88 keys, fully graded hammer action, as well as arranger keyboards functions. And not forgetting, we also have from Korg, the Korg Havian digital piano, which is a digital piano which has 88 keys as well as arranger functions. So let's get straight into what I like about the DGX-660. One thing I have always loved about Yamaha consumer keyboards, right? From their PSR E series, their G-Nods, their PSR S series, as well as this DGX-660 is the usability. It is just so extremely easy to use. So among all the other brands of keyboards that I have used and I have reviewed in my channel, the DGX-660 is definitely the easiest and most intuitive to use. For instance, the instant piano room button. There is this button which is just dedicated to all the pianistic functions and features of a piano. And with just one single touch of this button, no matter what mode, what category, what functions and features you are at on this piano, it will immediately default to the piano sound. Not only does it default to the piano sound, it also puts right in front of you all the functions and tweaks that you can make to the piano sounds. For example, the lid position, the amount of damper resonance. You can also configure things like your half pedaling effect, your sostenuto, all at the touch of this single button. And this makes it really useful for someone who just want to use it as a basic piano, just someone who just want to play classical pieces and piano pieces without bothering about the other features and functions on this keyboard. The next thing I really like about the DGX-660 is the default piano samples. So the default piano sample is actually one of the better samples that Yamaha has, and it is the CF3S Grand Piano samples. And this CF3S is found on the Arias line of the Yamaha Clavinovas, and it is one of the best sounding pianos when you compare it with the PSR E series as well as even the PSR S series. And this piano sample is very comparable to that found on the Yamaha P121 as well as the Yamaha P125, which was just recently launched not too long ago this year. The next thing that I like about this keyboard is that it has 192 notes of polyphony compared to the E series and the S series, which has way fewer notes of polyphony, between 48 to 128 notes of polyphony. This has 192 notes of polyphony, and that ensures that if you're playing pianistically, if you're playing complex piano passages, it will not disappoint you and no notes will be dropped. What contributes to the user friendliness and the ease of use of this keyboard is the LCD screen. So the LCD screen is actually taken from the PSR S670. There's a lot of similarities from the screen of the PSR S670. This LCD screen has no color and is monochrome, but it just makes maneuvering around the different features and functions of this keyboard and having a very quick glance as to all your settings really easy. As compared to the Casio PXS and the Casio CDP S350, for example, where the screen is just so tiny and you don't really get the full information that you can get on the keyboard. A quick glance of the DGX-660 and the 650, I know everything I need to know. And the DGX-660 comes with 205 different styles. These styles are mostly adopted from the PSR E series. There is something about Yamaha styles. Yamaha styles are just more groovy than the other brands, in my opinion. They just sound so much sweeter and better programmed. And although it might not contain any of the S-series styles, the more advanced styles, it is definitely a great complement to this piano because essentially this is still first and foremost an 88-key piano, and it's great that they have included 205 of the Yamaha styles in this piano. Other than the really groovy sounding Yamaha styles on this DGX-660, we also have more than 500 different voices that are adopted from the PSR E series as well. I have to be very frank and be very objective. It is in my opinion that Yamaha saxophone sounds, the sweet voices, the harmonica sounds, as well as the flute voices, the oboes, the bassoons just sound definitely better on Yamaha than the competitors. Yamaha seems to have nailed it right in that little nuance of the acoustic characteristics of the instrument, and it has been adopted here on the DGX-660, which just completes the package. You've got really good piano sounds and you've got really decent acoustic voices, as well as quite a number of synth voices and a good plethora of general MIDI voices as well. The next feature I really like on this DGX-660 is the microphone input. The microphone input is a very welcome feature for those who want to sing along with their playing. And the reason why I also like this microphone input is it is not just a basic mic input. It does more than that. It allows you to configure different effects, compressors, EQ, as well as reverb that you can add to it to sweeten up your voice and to make sure that you sound best through the speakers. Pedals on the DGX-660 are also assignable, and I really like that because there are so many things you can do with the pedals when you're not just playing the default piano sounds. And on quite a lot of different other brands, competitors, brands, models, the pedals are just dead pedals, and that doesn't do anything when you are not playing the piano sounds. And in this instance, you can use it to configure different kind of features and functions that you can trigger with your feet when your hands are busy. There is also a very useful 6-track sequencer that I like on this DGX-660. It might not be the full-blown 16-track sequencer, but I believe those who buy the DGX-660 first and foremost buy it for its piano capabilities and arranger functions as well as recording features second. And therefore this 6-track sequencer is a very welcome addition to this DGX-660 keyboard. Next feature I love is the direct recording of your playing to the USB thumb drive. This is something which literally the competitors have not caught up in this price range. This is a feature which is so convenient and I use it very often, and this USB audio out just makes it so much easier for those who are having a DAW workflow. You don't need an additional audio interface in order to send audio to your computer and to your DAW. And the reason you guys are subscribed to my channel and watching my videos is because I give an unvarnished opinion and I am honest with my experiences with different keyboards, and therefore I am going to talk about the things I don't like in the Yamaha DGX-660. The first thing I don't like about the Yamaha DGX-660 is the build quality. The entire keyboard just feels very plasticky. You get a lot of shiny plastic and it just doesn't feel like it can last many years. The keys itself are glossy and just doesn't convey a premium feel. And the glossiness of the keys also make the keys pretty slippery if you are sweating a little bit, and that is going to be a problem when you're playing fast passages. Fortunately, the black keys are matte, and this does help, but the entire package just feels like it's brittle, low quality plastic. In addition, every unit that I've come across which my student has all have had various problems during the term of ownership. Fortunately, it occurred during their first year and was under warranty, and it was fixed by Yamaha for free, but it just shows that the build quality just isn't there. One of the weakest thing on the DGX-660 is the music rest. The music rest where you put your music books has two very small legs on the music rest, and these have a tendency to break off very easily. I've had two students who already have had their music rest legs broken off, and they can no longer use that music rest. The next thing is the graded hammer action. So this DGX-660 is using GHS, which is graded hammer standard action. This is a pretty old tack hammer action, and it just doesn't feel premium when you're having this action. This is reminiscence of keyboards and pianos from at least 5 to 8 years ago. This makes the DGX-660 just feels like it's no longer worth the kind of money that you will be paying for. If you are paying for full price, I don't think I will recommend it. But if you can find a very good discount on a new unit or even a very good condition used unit, then of course I would say go for it. So fortunately, Yamaha has reduced their price accordingly over the years. The initial manufacturer suggested retail price on this was $1,299 US, but it has since come down to US $799, and you can find this for US $799 on Amazon.com. I will leave a link in the description and you can check it out. You would think that a piano of this price would have string resonance. I think string resonance has been quite a standard on a lot of the newer digital pianos that has come out, for example on the Casio PXS series, and it is just missing on this DGX-660. I most likely think it will be included on the next DGX series. So while the voices and rhythm on the DGX-660 are nice to have, but you can really sense that they came from a significantly older model of the PSR-E series. So I wish that they had used a more current series voices as well as styles, and that is not the case. It is still not bad, but it could have been better with more contemporary styles and newer voices. The next thing I don't like is that it is really heavy. Yamaha does market this as a portable digital piano with arranger functions, but at 21 kilos, it's gonna break your back if you try to move it around a lot. And at 21 kilos, it is really tipping the scale when you try to put it on an X-stand, compared to the much slimline P-series as well as the Casio PXS 1000 and 3000, which are really the world's most compact digital piano with built-in speakers. The DGX-660 just looks like a giant, a behemoth giant. The thing is that if your build quality matches up to that weight, that 21 kilos, and justifies it, I understand, that's fine. But the build quality doesn't justify that weight. In addition, the speakers, the onboard speakers on such a massive cabinet is merely an anemic, pretty weak sounding 6 watts on each side. You would think that with so much more cabinet space on the DGX-660, Yamaha would have put in more powerful speakers. Unfortunately, that is not the case. And this DGX-660 has a pitch bend wheel, but a modulation wheel is missing. And you would think that at this price range, a modulation wheel really just doesn't cost too much, and there is definitely sufficient space on this big size cabinet to put a modulation wheel. I was also disappointed that there is no separate 1/4 inch left-right stereo outputs on this DGX-660. That would have made it a lot better for those who want to use it to gig. After all, it has a very decent piano sounds, and easily it can be a workhorse on gigs, right? But there are no proper quarter-inch left-right output. This DGX-660 has an MSRP of $1,299, which means that it is meant to be a premium product. I don't think it is too much to ask to have more than one intro, one ending, and only two basic variations of the rhythm. Yamaha already has the styles. They already have 2, 3 different intros and ending and 4 variations of each style. So what Yamaha has done for this model is triple the features of the styles and given the user only one intro, one ending and 2 variations of a style instead of giving them the entire ones that they have. One of the things that I use the pedal for very frequently in other keyboards is to use the pedal to trigger rhythm fill-ins between the styles. And we have 3 pedals that are available if you're not using it as a piano, but you cannot configure the pedals to trigger fill-ins on the DGX-660, which is quite a shame because you can tell that a lot of the internal architecture has been taken from the 670. The screen has such a strong 670 resemblance, yet they didn't bring in a very basic feature like this, which is using the pedals to trigger fill-ins or even intros or ending. And the other limitation to this high-end and also price-high DGX-660 keyboard is that it only has 32 slots of registration memory, and you are not able to name any of the registration memory at all, which is quite a shame looking at the fact that it has quite a bit of the PSR S670 architecture, and there is definitely room for Yamaha to bring in the naming system of their registration memory buttons and not limit it to just 32 slots. And the last 2 complaints I have on this keyboard is that it doesn't run on batteries. These days there is quite a lot of demand for a keyboard to be able to run on batteries if you're trying to bask with this keyboard. After all, it's meant to be portable, right? If you want it to be portable, it must not be tethered to a power supply. If I'm going to be basking with it on the streets, I want it to be able to run on batteries. If I'm going to bring it to birthday parties, beach parties, I want to be able to run it off batteries. After all, it already has internal stereo speakers. And the very last complaint I have about this DGX-660 is that why must Yamaha put the headphone jack behind on the rear panel of the keyboard? It just doesn't make sense. These days, most pianos and keyboards have shifted the headphone jacks to the front where the player is, and you don't have to stretch all the way behind and try to hunt for the headphone jack and try to plug it in. That is just not very user-friendly. I hope you guys enjoyed my experience as well as my thoughts on the Yamaha DGX-660. And if you did, make sure you give it a big thumbs up as well as subscribe and smash that notification bell icon if you haven't already done so.